was just that actually when defending.
I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Come on, Ian. As you can see above my head, Arsenal 3, Chelsea 1. Check out the rest of my reviews that have probably been posted by the time this comes out on my channel. Don't forget to offer your opinions, like, comment, and subscribe. Now, as I just said, we've gone back to winning ways. We've got 3 points against a team who can't pick up any points or 3 points right now. It's nice to continue our competitive streak against top 6 or historical top 6 sides and in London derbies. And obviously, it's been the teams in the bottom half of the table, Southampton, West Ham, Bournemouth, that have been the teams that have offered us problems. Sadly for Chelsea fans and graciously for Arsenal fans, at least for 60 minutes, probably not the last half an hour, we was never in doubt, really and truly. You know, the only doubt was we could probably score more. Could Chelsea make us concede some more? Obviously, I'm happy we got 3 points. I'm happy with a number of individual and collective performances. Once again, I'm happy for the clean sheet. I'm happy for the 3 points. I'm not happy with the lack of clean sheet. I'm happy with the 3 changes I meant to say Mikel Arteta's made, and they've done well. Jorginho did his thing. Kirill did his thing. Trossard, I don't think he played to the level he can play, but again, it's a day for a collective, and he did well. He's involved as well. Like, he just didn't. It's just not the Trossard show. Now, again, I've offered my opinions in depth in relation to this game, so please check out my watch along and the videos that have happened. Let me know your thoughts though, because I do read the comments. Let's get into what we're into. You know, a bit of the aftermath with the statistics, talking points, etc. Now tomorrow I'm going to do a reaction stream. We'll cover all of this again and in depth and things like that. But for what it's worth, the thing that scares me, and you saw Gabriel limping. Mikel Arteta has confirmed Gabriel will be a doubt to face Newcastle on Sunday after coming off against Chelsea. Now, the positive is that he was able to continue. The negative might be maybe playing whatever the injury did more harm than good. Now, we've got to, we're down to our bare bones, and even then some defensively. So, and at Newcastle, one of the best performing and informed teams with a number of attacking threats, probably have to go to a back three, Holding and Kirill together at centre-half. It's not been done. Weirder things have happened, and if Arteta backs them, fair enough. But surely you've got to look to go with a back three of Tierney, Kirill, and potentially Rob Holding, as well as other things, really and truly. So we'll have to assess what happens there. Arteta did say on Gabriel he could not carry on. We have to assess him. He was not comfortable. So hopefully with a couple of days break in between Sunday's game, he's able to go. Again, I'm sure he'll have medical scans, so it's too close for Arteta to know, but it doesn't sound positive. Arteta said on the first 60 minutes, he said, the first 60 minutes, I thought the team played really well. We need to be us, and that was everything I want to see from our team. Speed, quality, movement, 2 beautiful goals. We connected with our crowd and created an incredible atmosphere. They have been incredibly supportive of what we have done. We wanted to earn the right to be top of the league. We are happy to be there, at least for 24 hours. And reading in between the lines, that means Arteta wasn't happy with either the last half an hour or random 3 10-minute stages throughout the game. And again, we shouldn't have conceded a clean sheet. I think it's more building blocks for next season. We need to change our outlooks to defending. I do think we've changed our outlook, and we're more on defending. We're more capable of defending. We're more tenacious in our defending. But in terms of being street smart, game management, etc., especially at home, we concede 1 goal too many, and clean sheets are a rarity, especially games like Leeds, today against Chelsea, Crystal Palace, where it's one-way traffic and we're clearly on the dominant side and we're conceding cheap goals. It's these things that have kind of cost us in games, but they've been there all season. They've been there against Leicester at home, Brighton away, Bournemouth at home, Aston Villa away, Man United home and away, Chelsea today, several. And obviously in the last recent games against Southampton, West Ham and Liverpool, and obviously today. So it's more building blocks for next season on top of the good we've done this season and the evident areas of improvement. Arsenal have now achieved 24+ league wins in a Premier League season for the first time since 2013-14, which is always good. Odegaard has drawn praise, led by example with his brace. He's drawn praise from his manager. He has 14 goals this season. His contribution to the team, his leadership skills, I'm really pleased with him. What a bargain for 30-odd million. The man of the moment said the first half was brilliant. We came out and showed a different spirit to the last time, obviously with our 4-1 defeat to Man City. I'm happy, very happy, better yet, with the first half. The second half was a bit messy, but 3 points and a good win, and we needed this one. Everyone was so hurt after the game against City. We used the anger and disappointment to get back into this game. You can lose games, but the way we lost, we didn't play our game and weren't ourselves. That was the most painful thing, and we wanted to show a different side, and we definitely did. We're back to play with a smile on our face, really and truly. 5 talking points following our win against Chelsea, allegedly. Ringing the changes. Arteta made 3 changes to our starting lineup today, the joint most he's made between Premier League games this season, and for the 3rd time in succession, it's worked a treat. Careful, people said Arteta is inflexible. The introduction of our 3 January signings made a huge impact, with Kirill and Jorginho particularly impressing. And that's why we bought them. Trossard had a good game and has shown this season how good he is. Jorginho bossed it, as did Xhaka and Odegaard individually. And collectively, they couldn't be stopped. I think we need to calm down a bit with Kirill. You can only play what's in front of you. We got to remember Chelsea are blunt going forward. You know, we stifled them. You know, they had no midfield. They were reliant on the counter-attack. They scored because we handed that to them. You know, it weren't really a game where you're going to see Kirill's defensive capabilities, which Sporting and Liverpool might have been. That's no disrespect to Kirill, because you did play well. The manager can have faith in you. I'm just simply saying we need to calm down. But we know football fans, they'll big him up today. If he has a shaky game against Newcastle, he's the worst in the world, isn't it? But this is why you've got a squad. Jorginho showed his quality, people. He was absolutely great. And actually, the decision not to play Partey was justified. I know, to be honest, Zinchenko, Granit Xhaka, Jesus, Saka, according to some Arsenal fans, they could have and maybe should have, not without merit, been dropped today. On Jorginho, no one had more touches than him, with 77, and they should have known you can't give Jorginho time and space. He won possession back more often than any of our players, 9 times, completed more passes, 63, than anyone else on the pitch, and saw his replacement at Stamford Bridge, Enzo Fernandez, replaced on 70 minutes, did more than Aubameyang, who got clipped after 45 minutes. Didn't you lot learn from the game at Stamford Bridge? He's not coming back to haunt us. Once a gooner, always a gooner. Kirill, Aubameyang left the fray at half-time, having had just 9 touches in the opening 45 minutes, much of which was down to the impressive play of Kirill on his first Premier League start. Bearing in mind it's now May, new month's new blessing. He joined in January. Is what it is. Apparently, the centre-back won possession back 7 times during the encounter and made the most clearances of all our players during an impressive display. On Martin Odegaard, 2 more goals for our skipper tonight, has seen him hit 14 this campaign, including 4 in his last 4 matches. That recent flurry saw him surpass his best ever return in the campaign, when it weren't really what people know him for Sociedad, but when he was on loan and got 11 at Betis. So I think you're seeing with Smith Rowe last season in terms of outputting goals, with what Saka has done, with what Odegaard's done, bit left of the spectrum, but Granit Xhaka and Martinelli, Arteta is getting more out of his team collectively, and they're sharing the goals about. Jesus has been injured, but he's now got 10 goals for the campaign as well, people. In fact, only once in our previous 30 Premier League campaigns has a central midfielder netted more often than that. That came with Cesc Fabregas, who is at the Emirates today with 15. Now Odegaard with 4 games better yet left. Maybe he does that and draws parity. Apparently, so far this season in the Premier League, 17 players have hit double figures for goals, and we now have 4 of them. Gabriel Jesus' strike took him up to 10 goals in our colours, and that meant he joined Odegaard, Martinelli, and Saka in hitting that milestone. It's just the 2nd time we've had 4 players reach double figures in a competition, with the last coming a decade ago in 2012-13, when Santi Cazorla, Giroud, Podolski, and Walcott all enjoyed fine returns in front of goal. Wasn't Arteta a player for us them times? Once again, Arsenal are the first team in Europe's top 5 divisions to have 4 players reach 10+ league games. Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, and obviously Odegaard, Saka. Yeah, I think I said all of them. But either way, none of them have got near their potential. I want to see these lot hit their potential more than these lot, but great stuff. We just need to get better defensively, people. Arsenal have accumulated 78 points in the league this season, exactly double Chelsea's points tally. To be fair, Chelsea can't go down. Who knows? They can get the illustrious 40-point mark. They've got a big game against Bournemouth. You know, this game was probably a write-off for them, really, and they were looking towards that. The first team in English football history to win 10+ London derbies in a league campaign. At home, we, no clean sheets, but we beat Fulham 2-1, beat Spurs 3-1. We beat West Ham by the same scoreline. Unfortunately, we drew with Brentford. We beat Crystal Palace, and we won 3-1. 4-1 against Palace, 3-1 against Chelsea away. We beat Palace 2-0, beat Brentford 3-0, beat Chelsea 1-0, beat Spurs 2-0, beat Fulham 3-0, and had a 2-2 game against West Ham. And you can see a flurry of clean sheets. So what is it that is missing? I know on the road at Anfield, at West Ham, and at the Etihad, we ain't been that team, but what is missing? What sees us keep clean sheets away from home? And at home, it's filled with drama. Or if it's not filled with drama, you get the Palaces, the Leeds, the Chelseas, where it's one-way traffic. Even you could throw Spurs and Liverpool into that to a degree. You know, as much as we're developing an attacking sense, once we learn to crave the perfect defensive performance and we're seeing all these great stats, we could potentially be unstoppable. Most Premier League goals scored in most Premier League goals scored in without losing a single one. Gabriel Jesus has hit 55. Milner has hit 54. I mean, that record's not going to be there forever, but it's great to see it. Chelsea have now lost more Premier League games since sacking Thomas Tuchel than they did during his time in charge. Under Tuchel, they had 11 defeats in 63. After him, 12 defeats in 27. Don't know if that was the right decision. Arsenal have scored more goals than any other team in the Premier League in the opening half an hour of matches this season with 24. Arsenal now have 4 players in double figures for Premier League goals this season, as we said that already. With 2 assists tonight, Xhaka is now up to 50 goal involvements in all comps for Arsenal with 21 goals and 29 assists overall. Aubameyang had 9 touches, 4 of them from kickoff, and got hooked in the 45th minute. Really, we picked up 78 points this season, the same number as when we won the title in 1978-99, and 2 more than when we won the title in 1988 and 89. Unfortunately, we've got this City beast to contend with. You know, in November/December 2021, Arsenal kept 4 consecutive clean sheets at home. Since then, we have played 27 Premier League games at the Emirates and kept just 5 clean sheets. It's not sustainable. We must improve in that regards. We have now won 10 Premier League London derbies this season, which is as many games as Chelsea have won overall. Once again, we've seen that with Gabriel Jesus. And it was complete domination, as some of you lot can see here, people. We killed them after half an hour, essentially, off the back of a strong start to the game. We scored they scored around the hour mark. So the last half an hour, we kind of switched off and we gave them that goal and didn't take the warnings. But other than that, we put them to the sword. Chelsea's goal scorer was the only one half on it, if I'm honest, bar Ben Chilwell and Thiago. But if your midfield strikers are not down, you've got a British record transfer midfielder. You've got Mudryk, who looked quite exciting off the bench, to be honest. Chelsea players all need to look in the mirror, really, because it's disgraceful. We have won 3 consecutive Premier League games against Chelsea for the first time since February 2004. So things are returning to what they did. So let me know your opinions on the game, on the statistics, on Gabriel's injury, and maybe potential ramifications. Check out the other vids. But it's been a long day. I'm going to love and leave you lot, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Come on, you Gunners. One love.
Because you always just that active red flag, defending.
I think it's like